Uh-oh. I gotta make sure when I get on my camera that my hair is not all fuzzy. Hi. Big, y'all. I'm trying to keep it tame, but the snow has been a little rough on me, or on my hair, should I say. We're early, as always. We got about 5 more minutes before we get started. So, if you have questions, be sure to post them in the chat box. If you have something that you know you don't want to be in the chat box, you just want to um, make sure I include it, shoot it to me as a message and I'll include it as part of the overall talk. I was playing Design Home before I came on here, so I'm trying to decorate this room. I have to use 5 mirror dots, that's a lot. So today we're going to be talking about TXNL, so that's going to be fun. Um, if we may have some visitors and they may share in the chat box, and if not, I'm going to share some links with you. Actually, just one main link because you can really get to everybody from there. If you don't already know, we're going to get into that, talk about that here in just a minute. Hope everybody's having a good week. It's a good day to talk about TX now because it's hump day. You know, we like to do the hump day shift, shake it off, whatever it is. Whatever has you weighted down, shake it off. TXNL can help you do that. Just a few more minutes to get started. Make sure all my links are working properly. Headset together. I love Wednesday, y'all. Halfway through the week. And we're more than halfway through this talk, aren't we? We've been doing this for 10 days. Well, 8 days today, total of 10 days. So we only have a couple of days left. Not including today, we have 2 days left. So if you're just joining us, sit tight. I'll give my whole introduction here in just a minute. Start at 10. Thank you for coming early. Making sure my sound, if you can't hear me or anything like that, you let me know in the chat. If you're joining us from sugarfreecoaching.com or anywhere else, be sure that you come over to YouTube if you want to engage in the live chat with us, but otherwise you can just shoot me a note and I'll include it. But we only have 2 days left, you guys. So if you have a specific topic that you wanted me to elaborate on, now's the time. Be sure to share, tell somebody that you know who needs to be here. Today's the day where I get to tell you why they need to be here. I didn't do my Instagram live little thing today. I gotta get used to that. Facebook Live, easy peasy. YouTube Live, getting easier. Instagram Live, not so easy. It's a little clunky. Plus, well, it's not so much the ease of doing it as it is the ease of sharing it other places. I think that's where I get stuck. I prefer to touch a bunch of people at one time. I don't want to have to do a whole bunch of stuff to touch different people. Just checking on everybody, making sure nobody's lost. Making sure our sound is good. At 1 minute. Hope y'all are enjoying this mass snow we got across different states. Even some southern states got it pretty bad. All right, it's 10 o'clock. We're going to go ahead and get started. Thank you so much for joining me. This is Andrea Raquel, the social entrepreneur and sugar-free coach, as well as the first female voice of the 3rd United States Infantry. If you've been here with me the whole time, you know we're on a 10-day journey talking about the new book that's coming out, Living Sugar-Free Revealed. If you are new, that's okay. You don't have to go back and watch all the old episodes unless you just want to. But we've been recapping. You can watch like one of the most recent ones and probably figure out where you need to be, whether you need to watch an early one or a later one. But we're going to do something else with this tape, and certainly you can get the book. We're just giving you sort of a behind the scenes inside chat on a lot of the topics that are in the book. So if you join me on this journey, excuse me, got hair in my mouth. If you join me on this journey, then not only are you going to get some behind the scenes inside tips on some of the things I talk about in the book, but you're also going to get one of the first signed copies. So be sure that you send a message over at sugarfreecoaching.com so that we can have your information. Let us know you want to get a copy of that book. If you're not on YouTube with us and you do want to type live in the chat, be sure to come on over to YouTube to the Sugar Free channel. If you're watching from my website, sugarfreecoaching.com, or any of the other spaces, and you just want to send me a question or you want me to elaborate on something, feel free to do that, and I'll just incorporate it into my talk. I won't, say your name unless you want me to. Yay! Today is day 8, you guys. I mean, the number 10 is a big number. When you talk about 10 years, and even when you talk about 10 days, doing something consistently for a long period of time with anything is not easy. It's not easy to do it faithfully. It's not easy to do it consistently. Y'all, I usually get bored after the first couple of days. Even if I'm the one talking, I get bored, yes. You always are going to feel like, oh, nobody wants to hear what I have to say, or is this information even helping anybody, or whatever. So we all go through that. But 10 years is a long time, guys. Better Me Inc. TXNL is 10 years old, a little over 10 years now. We'll be going in our 11th year. And that's what I want to talk to you about today. We're on the section of the book that is entitled Community, Business, and Lifestyle. And we've been talking a lot about family dynamics and relationships and planning and all that. But this is sort of like how I got from there to here, and how you can kind of see how all of that stuff is relevant and helpful. Some of it is hindsight. Some of it is, ooh, I wish I had known then what I know now. And some of it is, this is what I did and what worked. And some of it is, hey, I did it wrong and then I got it right. But I'm just trying to share with you some of the information that I learned and became aware of, and also implemented throughout my years in corporate America, government, the military, and et cetera. And so that's kind of how Better Me Inc. TXNL came to be. I worked in the military. I had a pretty prestigious role. I worked in banking. I was a VP. I worked in retail even. I was a store manager. So it's kind of like after you do things for so long across multiple industries, you kind of start to notice like some patterns. And so after, and then a few other industries in there as well. But after banking is when I kind of realized people need support. Besides the support that's just offered by the organizations and industries that you're buying stuff from, because if you're buying my product, certainly I want you to buy 2 of them, or buy the ancillary product, or whatever the additional product that goes with it. But if you talk to an outside consultant, then that may not necessarily be the best ancillary product. Maybe you got to get this piece from this company and this piece from this company over here, just because of what your specific needs are. So you really need unbiased advice. And that was my goal with starting Better Me Inc. The vision, the mission, it has to do with improving communities, businesses, and lifestyles, one solution at a time. And it's outlined that way for a reason. And it's actually a pattern and a model for how we can operate, a pattern and a model for how things are done within the company, and a pattern and a model for how I live. That's why living sugar-free, it's not a diet, it's a lifestyle. It's still that community, business, and lifestyle. Um, Lots of times I'll post and tweet about, love, live, love, work, play, love. Well, maybe what you didn't know is that all of it is tied together. And, when we talk about consistency in a brand, you really have to drink the Kool Aid. Otherwise, you can't be consistent. So, you can't be endorsing this cell phone company. And as soon as your cell phone breaks, you're on the internet tweeting about it. True story. Somebody really did that and they roasted them for it. You can't be claiming that you use this particular product only and then get seen in this other store or whatever. So, if you're going to be a credible brand, and that's whether you have a product or whether you are the person or the brand, any level of credibility that you're going to have, you have to be true to it and be genuine to what you say, especially in this day and age of social media, because with the paparazzi and everybody is a journalist, you can get caught on camera at any time. So you don't want to be caught on camera doing something that's contrary to whatever your brand, mission, whatever the thing is. So being true to whatever it is that you're selling. Um, and so that's why, living sugar free is what it is. I created the not for profit organization first as a template or model for what I wanted to share with the world and with other people, for what I wanted to teach. And then I patterned my own personal brand secondary after that. Why? Because it's community first business than lifestyle. Um, if you're familiar with the DIY head extraction, the steps in that basically lead you towards discovering that you should be doing for others and paying it forward. Um, Better Me Inc. is a not for profit organization, it's a membership organization that is for social entrepreneurs. And basically, that means people who are business minded, maybe technical strategy minded. However, they're always looking at how what they do can help the community and build a better future and etc. It's not just about making a buck, period. And that's with everything, no matter what, having to do with Better Me Inc., but also certainly having to do with living sugar free, the sugar free coach. It's not always about making a buck. And so, really, day 9 is talking about the sugar free diet, living well, my journey to becoming the sugar free coach. But today is really about that community, business, and lifestyle perspective. And I'm going to break down what each category encompasses so you can really get what I'm saying. This is really a talk for everyone. Maybe it could be a TED talk or something, but it's a common theme. I don't care how wealthy you are. I don't care how great of a job you have or how your relationship is, if you're single or married. It's a common theme. This is why we have certain industries. We have coaches and industrial organizational psychology and all these things, because happiness is like an ever fleeting like goal that's just out of reach for people. And even when people say they're happy doesn't mean they're necessarily happy. And just because you're happy today doesn't mean you'll be happy tomorrow. Happiness is absolutely a choice. However, who wants to have to always choose to be happy, like over actually being happy? Um, and when I say that, I don't mean to condone, being happy or not based on circumstance, because that's where the concept and the understanding that happiness is a choice comes in it. You can't always control your surroundings, your environment, your circumstance. Choosing to be happy anyway, that's great. But on an ongoing basis, as far as um, writing your story and defining your life, it's much better to make decisions that can actually lead to happiness than always having to choose to be happy in spite of. So, what we've noticed is that, and when I say we, I mean me across my research and experience that I've had, but as well as people in my industries, based on articles that are being written, based on certain organizations you can join that will explain this to you or sort of take you through some steps of self discovery to discovering this. There are books that you can read. Most of the wealthiest, most accomplished people in this world, even still, weren't truly happy until they discovered that it was about paying it forward and what you can do for others. You know, you can amass millions of dollars and things and people around you and whatever, but if you're not giving something back and enriching others' lives and leaving something here for the better, then that true sense of fulfillment is never really going to be there for a human. You can get it in multiple ways. You know, there are people who, okay, so for starters, if you have children, raising a child up and making sure that they're a decent human being and setting them on a path and giving them the things that they need to influence the world, that's a huge way to do it. Once your children are grown and gone, you still have to do it some more. Um, Writing music, but it doesn't just stop with one song that you wrote. You can give to charity, great, but after you give that one time, then what? This sort of feeling that I'm talking about has to be an ongoing thing that you grow through and have various experiences through, and it's not always easy to do and that sort of thing, because if not, you don't feel that same balance in your life, that same sense of fulfillment that, oh, great, you know, it's like people say, I've got all this stuff, I've got all this money, but I don't have anyone to share it with. Okay, great. You've got all this stuff and you've got all this money and you've got someone to share it with, but your existence in your relationship is one that's very shallow and you're not enriching the lives of others or giving back. You're going to have a very dry, miserable existence. And you're going to be trying to figure out why and where it's coming from. Then people are blaming each other. But in reality, the two of you need to get together and go do something worthwhile for somebody else. And that can bring, I mean, even if just like a couple goes out and like on whatever day volunteers at a homeless shelter or soup kitchen or goes out and does something, you know, fun for other people or whatever, it can bring so much energy to the relationship. Um, so this is for everybody. That was my point. Um, hmm. Doesn't have to be with Better Me Inc., but if you've been around for any amount of time, I don't see why it wouldn't be. There's lots of areas in a person's life where they need solutions. And unless you have some other nonprofit solutions organization that you know of that is all about solutions, period, that means humans need help. We help find solutions. That means we don't say, oh, we only help veterans, or oh, we only help people with special needs, or oh, we only help. No, we help entrepreneurs that are social entrepreneurs who all have different and various social entrepreneurial passions, organizations that they give back to, causes that they are passionate about or love. All of these different people have different ones. So I may be passionate about helping veterans, but I may be helping with a prison project. I may be passionate about helping with people with special needs, but now I'm helping with a children's project because other people in the organization are passionate about different things, as I said. But what that also does, it brings a lot of amazing skill sets, talents, expertise to the table. So it's really been an amazing journey. Um, the community aspect of it is family, neighborhood, being a global citizen, and paying it forward. It has to do with everything, you guys, because, you know, as we talked a few days ago on one of the previous days, we talked about how things come back to you and how you might think, oh, I don't care about that thing because it doesn't have anything to do with me, but you could do something about it. But you just don't do anything about it because you just think it's not important to you or it's not going to affect you or you don't want to embarrass yourself or whatever. It's going to come back around. If it's meant for you to do, if it's meant for you to get involved in, if it's meant for you to solve and you just ignore it, it's going to come back around to you. So don't miss an opportunity to, you know, improve something in this area today that down the road your children can reap the benefits of. Or don't miss an opportunity to invest in this thing over here that down the road because you're passionate about this, they actually line up and you actually in the long run were investing in yourself. If you don't sow into something, then how is there anything to withdraw from? Seed time and harvest. If you're not ever investing, if you're not ever giving back, if you're not ever paying it forward or sharing into the world, how can you expect there to be an overflow for you to get back? So it doesn't matter what it is. It doesn't have to be the same thing. You know, you might not ever be homeless and you choose to go and serve food at a homeless shelter. Doesn't mean it has to come back exactly the same way. But what you put out, you are going to get back in one way or another. Um, so community is sort of taking responsibility for your community and whatever that looks like. If it looks like a community living environment, there's multiple people living in your house, you're in a dorm or in a barracks, you're married, you've got in-laws staying with you, that's your community. But it's also your neighbors, you know, your neighbor's dog, you know, it's not just, oh, a nuisance, it's your neighbor's, you know, loved one. Um, Something happens to the people in your neighborhood, you know, all these types of things, your community. Doing random acts of random kindness, ARC, like I like to call it. All of this is community. And if for you, it has to do with more than that, like service, like you actually go out and do outreach, teach, train, um, give part of your business pro bono, do speaking gigs for free, do free live talks to help others. If you're already a part of TXNL Execs, that community piece is the very first and foremost um, piece of focus. And everybody likes to say, oh, I got to pay these bills. That's true. But if the community that is, okay, if the community that your office building is in a shambles, then are you really going to make money in your office building? If your family is a mess and dysfunctional, then are you going to be able to function well when you go to work? If you're a miser and you're just stingy and you only think about yourself, only talk about yourself, and only spend money on yourself, chances are you're not very good at whatever it is you do. Even if you're a money person, if you're stingy and you have a hard time being open and free and reciprocal and, you know, establishing rapport with people, chances are you're not very good at your job. You might think you are. You might be breaking records, but I bet you'll break more if you loosen up a little bit and consider just doing a little bit more for people other than what you get paid to do. Even with corporations, major corporations understand that they have not just stockholders, but stakeholders. A stakeholder for a company or for a brand, that's their community. It's not just the people who come in their store and buy stuff. It's not just their employees, but it's also the people who live in the community where their office building is or where their storefront is. They can't just dump, you know, poisonous chemicals out the back door and into your water in the community that they live. There's responsibility to the community. And we should all, as global citizens, whether we run a business or have a brand or do anything at all of significance out in the world and get paid to do it, we should certainly have a community give back aspect. If you don't, get one. Take whatever it is that you do really well and take the part that you don't charge people to do and go do that for free for a group of people who can't afford your services. It's not a conflict of interest if they can't afford your services. Okay? And go talk to a group of children, go talk to some prisoners and share your experience. Help someone else get into the industry that you're in. These are examples of what I'm talking about. Doesn't have to be with Better Me Inc. But if you join Better Me Inc. as a member, then A, you're always giving back even when you don't have time, but then also B, you have other people who understand what it's like to build a business helping you and giving you time to give back and giving you different ways to give back. Collaboration is just such a beautiful thing, especially when the collaborators are people of integrity and they're actually focused on doing something for others. We don't all have to be focused on doing the same thing for others. You know, I've tried to collaborate with some people. You've probably experienced this where you try to. There's a lot of people have a really negative connotation of um, bartering and sharing of services because some people take it and they don't do the right thing with it. There's people in this world who are going to take advantage of you. Just be careful. That's why you should join Better Me because you don't have to worry about that. But there are people that you'll say you're going to do a collaboration project with or a partnership or whatever, and they'll let you do all the work and take all the money. It happens a lot. I've heard stories, and I'm still hearing stories, and I'll hear some more stories tomorrow. And my answer to them is going to be, that's what you get for not joining Better Me, or not being an active part of it, or not bringing that person to Better Me. Iron sharpens iron. And if you have more people collaborating together and working together, then you have the less chance that that person is going to take your money and run. Y'all, this is hard for me to talk about because I've been saying it for so long and I feel like I'm lecturing people, but I'm not biting my tongue, and sorry, not sorry, because if you have been around us any amount of time, you know everything I'm saying already. So maybe that's why it's hard for some people to receive, but it doesn't have anything to do with me. So here's the website, you guys, if you didn't write it down the first time I said it. It's Better Me Inc. Oh, you can't see that. It's too bright. It's bettermeinc.org, you guys. If you go there, oh, you'll recognize it because it has big TX now right there. Our little Bitmojis. If you scroll down to the bottom, you can get all of the links for all of the different companies, projects, and different things. We're adding some all the time. You can find our Psych Armor link there. I talked about that on day 3 or 4 or something like that. But that's where you can get help for yourself or your organization. Let's say you're a caregiver, or let's say you work in a place that works with veterans and you want to help your team do it better. Let's say if you have a company, everybody works with veterans, deal with veterans. So you can participate in the Psych Armor training that we have. We're a certified veteran ready organization, so we can do these trainings. Brainwave Consulting, that's our IT administrator. Your Roadmap to Success with Anthony Forrester. He's the awesome John Maxwell coach who helped walk me through this process here. You can be a work from home agent with us. If you need a job, if you need to make money, you may have children or be working on a business and you can't go out and work a 9 to 5, you can do that with us. You can participate in the Innocence Project and with Joe G. You can check out Simply Denise, who is ultimately the head of our management company. So you can follow her on social media and stuff like that. But if you work with the Innocence Project, then you'll get to see her and work with her. Real Estate and Trust, talked a little bit about that yesterday, and I think I gave you Libri and Mitchell's website as well, but you can get there from there, as well as Adela Wellness, which is faith-based. So that's just the icing. Each one of those organizations has projects and other people and teams that they're working with. The sky's the limit for what you can do or the type of support that you can get. I had the idea, but there's no way that I could have said then that we would have the type of mind power and influence that we have now. So the mastermind management company, Simply Denise Management Company, that's been helping to run Better Me Inc. all these years, the youth leadership program, as well as Living Sugar Free, as well as Buchanan Executive Services, the Administrative Management Coordinator, all of these people that I wouldn't be able to do this right here, what I'm doing with y'all for 10 days at 10 o'clock at night if it wasn't for them. So I think you might want to just go over there and check it out and see if there's an area that you need more support, that you can get it, but also B, if you don't, how can you give back? how can you, which committee can you join, or which speaking team can you be on? Can you go and um, talk to homeless people, or help, or give serve food to the homeless people, or go and speak to people in prisons, or be part of the youth program? Because all of these executives, they just need to pay their bills too, and many hands make light work. So the more of us that are working together on a collaborative project for the community, the more energy each one of us has to focus on our business and our lifestyle. Okay. So if you have an area that is a really amazing, in demand area that you're an expert at, give of your time, volunteer your services. Um, you'll be glad you did, and you'll be more happy and more fulfilled. You'll be better in your job. You can't practice on live clients. You can't demand that people pay you more money than you have the experience to go along with, but you can get your experience by giving back, helping others, and serving in the community. So then we move on to business, because we're businesses that are run by people who are social entrepreneurs. Everything that we do is with the corporate responsibility concept in mind. That means, you might not be a fanatic, or your passion might not be recycling, but you certainly try to recycle every chance you get. You might not love children, but if there's a children's program, you're going to donate whatever part of your thing is, you can go to donate to that. It's not about arguing about who's the president, or if I'm a Democrat or I'm a Republican or you are whatever, or, do we oppose the death penalty or not? It's not about us having um, philosophical, religious, or political debates. It's about us just trying to help people, and in different ways. So if someone is working on a project and they're part of TXNL, then I'm going to do everything I can to support that project, because they're going to turn around and support the project that I'm working on as well. So we're all collaboratively giving our services to help support multiple projects. So that's a business tax write-off, you guys. In your business, if you don't have enough money to do what it is that you need to do, there's like a whole long list of areas that, if you have a sit down with a business consultant, that we can help you to discover more areas where you're either wasting money, not capitalizing on money, um, to have money that you don't realize you have because it's being spent, in ways that aren't a good idea. And this is just one, Um, the IT guy could probably save you some money. The real estate guy could probably save you some money. Certainly doing a brand reveal could save you some money. There are a lot of ways you can learn things, and it's kind of like this. If you're a fitness guru and you're like really good at going to the gym or working out, or you're real, like I was into, like, my thing is not fitness. My thing is not working out. That's not my thing. But if I'm the sugar-free coach and I'm eating healthy and I'm on this like lifestyle wellness thing and I love to dance, can I go in the community and teach some dance classes and some salsa? Many of you who know me know that I did that. Maybe you don't know. I used to be a Zumba instructor, and I still do some large events, group events, and things like that. But I don't teach, regular local classes like that anymore. And the reason I did that is because, to me, my reasonable service, my giving back, is to help people understand more about living healthy. So how can I not? Like, taxes might not be your thing. You might be a marketing person, but you're really good at doing your taxes. Why wouldn't you go and participate if there's a free seminar to help local people in your area with their taxes? Why wouldn't you? These are the things that you can give back. You don't have to go and, like, whatever thing that you make your money off of, you go get that thing away free. You don't have to do it that way. But certainly we all have a give back, a pay it forward that we can do. Um, in your business, you can continue to still pay it forward by giving really quality service. There's nothing worse for an individual, more stressful, can sabotage a plan. You never know who you're sabotaging. The person that's standing in front of you has a whole plan to do a bunch of stuff for a bunch of other people, but because you didn't give them proper service or get them the thing that they needed on time, you hindered not just that person, but all the people they were going to help. Giving quality service is like part of like, oh, what can I do to help? But for starters, you can be committed to doing whatever it is you do of a high standard. That's whether you have a job or whether you run your own business, you work for a nonprofit, religious organization, whatever it is that your job title is. Read the manual, read it again. If you haven't read it in a while, go read your manual. Go read your company manual, read your job description. If you wrote it yourself and you're the CEO, go read your company vision and mission statement, your job description, and give yourself a refresher and commit that you're going to do whatever it is that your job is. You're going to do it better and you're going to be more efficient at it. And then that way you will have more time to pay it forward and do for others as well. You can, if you're a waiter, you can stop off at the person's table in a different section. That's not your section. You're not going to get a tip off that table, but you're on your way by. You can stop and ask the people if they needed anything else because you see them looking around and you know that there are waitresses in the weeds. You can do that. That's one small random act of kindness that is outside of something that you're going to get paid for, but it's in your business. So take time to give someone directions. You told them they were at the wrong office. This is not where they do the thing that they came to do. They're holding up your line, and it's annoying. But can you, instead of just saying this isn't the right place for that, can you say, oh, this isn't the right place. Go to XYZ. It's down the street, 3 doors on the left. Just taking that extra step, taking that extra mile, going above and beyond in your business, making your business a better place to work, making your business more efficient, more economical, making the people that own the business, if you just work there, save them some money. Maybe you'll get a bonus at the end of the year. All this stuff comes back around. Maybe you won't. Maybe it'll come back to you in some other kind of way. But community, business, and lifestyle, if you've done the community part, you have a little bit more pep in your step to do the business part. And it's not just like, oh, I got to go make the donuts. Got to go get this paycheck. When you're out and about in the community doing stuff for others, and then you come back and do it in your business or in your place of work or your small business or in your home, oh, go do a Habitat for Humanity project. You come back into your house and look at your house, you'll be all in the mood to redecorate your whole house. That's the type of energy you stir up when you go outside. Everybody's not an introvert like me, so y'all probably go out of the house all the time. You probably go to the mall and go to your kids' school and go to the movies and go to the plays, the beaches and casinos and cruises and et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. But while you're doing all of that stuff, can just one of the things on the list be to go and work with some less fortunate people or go participate in a community meeting where they need your help with planning, or take some products from your business and go and donate them towards this whatever project or cause, or spend 5 minutes just showing some love to some people on the internet that are doing some type of community support. Share a bunch of charitable things or whatever. There are some people that this is like their life. They make it all about their life to try to operate this way. But even if you're not that person, even if you just do one thing a day, it can make a huge difference. You might feel like you can't make a difference, but you can make a difference. One thing that you do to click like or share for somebody that is doing something for others. Spread the word. Donate $1 if you have one. Show up to hear someone talk. These are the things that you can begin to do until you figure out exactly, maybe where your lane of philanthropy is to support others. So, you understand that community is family, neighborhood, global citizen, and paying it forward, right? Business is your career, small business, your brand, your money goals, right? So if even into business, you're still keeping the mindset of community, because again, love, live, love, work, love, play, love. Even if you're keeping that through business, then as you finally get to transition into the lifestyle portion, you're still keeping it, because you start a business tomorrow and it was just a really great idea and you thought, oh, I want to start this business. I hope it takes off, but you don't really know whether it's going to or not. It's better to operate as though it's going to be $1 million business than it is to operate like it's going to be a small mom and pop forever. Because if not, then when it becomes $1 million business, you won't be ready. We talked about culture and establishing culture, but these are the types of things that will fall by the wayside if you're not really taking your vision seriously, right? You didn't really write the vision out, you didn't write a plan. There's no goals for anyone to follow, standard operating procedures, or any of those things because you're not taking it seriously. You really didn't think you were going to be $1 million business. You were just trying to get paid because you had a good idea. Well, that's not thinking with this community business and lifestyle mindset. If you're going to do anything, you're going to do it well, for starters, because you don't want to mislead anybody. You want to lead from the front, you want to set the example. And certainly, if you're going to get a bunch of people on board with what you're doing, that means you have to be committed to it because if not, you're wasting people's time. So, not only are you going to pay it forward, be the change, do random acts of kindness, but as you're doing the things that you want to do, you're going to also be mindful of people's time and be considerate and be a wise steward and take care of the resources that are invested in this thing that you were entrusted with. Um, Gosh, so many people say they have such great visions and, oh, I have this great idea, and then they're gone, or they fall off of it, or they get bored. We get bored, guys. But the difference is if you really feel like it's something that you're called to do, boredom can't stop you from it. Like, even on the days that I get bored listening to myself talk, even on the days where I wonder, is this helping anybody, or is this a value, or is this going to go anywhere, or whatever, I think about the other people who are committed to hearing me. So if I've ever done a talk and there's been one person, or 20 people, or 50, or 100, or 60,000, is the same to me. If you know that people might show up, then you should be there. You shouldn't just stop showing up before the people stop showing up. Um, So it's kind of like a leadership thing, like to whom much is given, much is required. Don't jump out here and say you got this great idea, you're going to start this business, but you're only going to do it as long as it's making you the kind of money that you want it to make. You have to be committed beyond that. And if you're going to start a business, it's going to take some commitment. And it's going to take the kind of commitment that we talked about from community over into business. But then also, too, if you start making a lot of money, you don't just get to jump over here in the category and say, okay, I made $500,000 last year, so I'm just going to focus on lifestyle. That is not about how much money you made. It's about the service that you've given and the training that you've provided and the positions that you've given out and the opportunity that you've given other people to um, carry the torch. If you have started this wonderful idea, you've got this amazing brand or company or product, and you haven't trained other people to take over, you're always the only person who can do anything, then how are you going to focus on lifestyle? How is your company going to go to new levels if you stay in the same position all the time? So at some point, you have to take your hands off of certain things, pass the torch in certain areas, pass the torch more and more and more until you get to the point like I did where you just pass the torch all the way and you just show up when people call you. If you're needed, great, I'm participating. But other than that, I don't need to know everything that's going on and who's making what decisions and who's running it because I know that I have capable people running the thing that I just dreamed up. And that takes a lot of investment. It takes a lot of sacrifice. And, it takes a lot of not just investing in your idea and brand, but also investing in other people's. So after you've done the community and the business with the community in mind, then you've got a situation where you can sit back and chill out on the beach because you're just writing a book and you don't have to be anywhere and you already gave at the office and you already served on Wednesday and you are really feeling fulfilled that you can chill out on a beach and don't have any guilt about it because you did all that you could do. Now, after you finish chill out on the beach, that's so you can recoup and go back and do some more. Because as long as you're learning and growing, you always have something to give. So that's the lifestyle piece. It is self actualization. It's a place of satisfaction or Zen, if you will. Um, if you're gonna be at this phase, mostly, like this should be a constant rotation, right? Community, business, and lifestyle. But if you're gonna mostly be at the lifestyle focus, meaning there's not a whole lot of business and community, it's because you have built and delegated and invested. You know, you have a smaller community of people that you deal with, and those people deal with the larger community. Um, you have benefits because you've invested, right? So um, you have people. You make money when you're not necessarily doing anything because you have established something to be able to do that. Um, and you have people who are happy to do it. If you don't have that, then you didn't establish culture. So you can always go back and revisit these things. Maybe you have been on an extended vacation. You need to go back and work in your store. Maybe you have been working in your store too much and you haven't spent enough time with your family and your community. Maybe you have done all of these things and you're driving a Porsche and chilling out on the beach, but you just don't feel fulfilled. You need to go back to the community phase. Um, all of the executives that are part of TXNL execs have various areas of what I just talked about that they can help you with, whether it's establishing an enterprise management solution for your organization, whether it's establishing estate planning and trust for your family, whether it's life management, career management, um, brand development, um, all of these different areas that these different experts work in. Um, that they can not only mentor someone who's in the business, but that they can also provide great wisdom and support and leadership through various things like this that we do, giving talks and mentoring, giving back. So if you're watching this and you're new to Better Me Inc. TXNL, if you came my way through one of our executives because they said, oh, you got to watch this video from our founder so you can find out more about Better Me Inc., you're a lucky person because you have a really, really amazing friend. And they're probably trying to help you, but they have to follow this path that I'm talking about, just like I do. So I don't get to now meet someone and they just love me so much and I just think they're awesome. So I'm just going to do all the stuff that I've been doing for myself, like over the years that we've been building TXNL. I can't do that anymore. There's a team of people that you have to go to bettermeinc.org. That's BETTERMEINC.org. And you have to go and fill out a membership form or a request form, either one. If you're looking to be a mentor, leader, TXNL exec, there's one form for you to fill out. If you're looking to get services, you need a consultant. We're still going to invite you to be a member because there's a lot of stuff that just quite frankly, we just do just for the love of helping others and you don't need to necessarily pay someone for. And also too, it makes you a better client if we get certain things out of the way. And then there's also a request form that you can fill out if you'd like to have a speaker come out, if you want us to work with you as a group, come out and teach a class or something like that. Depending on what the need is, that's the mix of execs that you'll get working on your project or speaking at an event or whatever the thing is. It's a new day, y'all. It's a new day, and I really hope that a lot of people hear this and listen to it and take heed to it. You know, you can have your friend come to dinner, your sister's fiance or whatever comes to dinner, and he does LASIK eye surgery. And every time he goes to a dinner or anywhere out in public, that's the first thing people ask him, look at my eyes. Do you think I can, qualify for this surgery or whatever? And it gets old. And he probably laughs it off and makes a joke about it because he wants to be cordial and whatever. But you have no idea how much more old it gets for a person who is a consultant, advisor, coach, business development leader to have every one of their friends always want to pick their brain. Uh, a lot of the executives on our team that are like that, and they're amazing people, and they try to love on their friends and family and be community people, and they try to share. But if you have been sent to this video because someone wants you to um, get more involved and make it easier for them to help you, then don't take it personally or think that they don't have time for you or anything like that. I cannot build the solution for you while also entertaining you at the same time. I can't do that unless you're going to get in here with me and help me build the solution. So maybe the techie guy is one of your best friends or relatives and he sent you over here to deal with us. Well, that's because he's got to go back behind the computer and work on the actual technical part of it. And we can be over here talking about, strategy and SOPs and marketing and all that sort of thing while he's doing the part that he does. So we've got to get away from this always just wanting to spend time, socializing and talking about the weather and when there's things that need to be done. So, even when after you do this, you're actually going to get bored doing the lifestyle piece. Probably there will probably be only a limited amount of time that you can chill out on the beach or on your cruise before you got to get back in there because it becomes a way of life. It becomes a cycle. Okay, we did the community thing. Now I'm going to go to work and now I'm going to enjoy. You know that through the community and through the business thing that you're going to practice self care. You're going to do your yoga and you're going to do your stretching. You're going to make sure you eat right and you're going to breathe and all of this stuff that you don't even remotely feel selfish about or um, like you're spending too much time on you because you already know that you're going to do the community, the business, the lifestyle. And you can't do community and business if you're exhausted or you haven't taken time to breathe or you haven't had a decent meal. You can't do these things if you're not, of a healthy mindset. So going into the community, the business, the lifestyle model, it seems like, oh, Andrea, you put off, focusing on the sugar free brand or living sugar free because you were doing this thing. It's not because, oh, I'm Mother Teresa. No, it's smart to me to do it that way because um, if you know that this thing that you're trying to sell or this thing that this invention that you have, if you know it's going to take off and you know it's going to do well, as I said earlier, you treat it like it's $1 million thing now. Well, guess what? Down the road, I knew that I wasn't going to have time to be hands on with everybody. I knew that I wasn't going to be able to teach every class. I knew that everyone wasn't going to be able to afford to pay for every service I'm selling. So that's why I had the idea to do this not for profit social entrepreneurs organization because by all of us helping one another and helping one another to help the general public, then ultimately you're solving other people's issues as well as your own that you don't even have yet. So when I need an assistant or whatever the thing is, I don't have to rack my brain. There's a community of people right there. When you're looking for a specialist or an expert at a particular thing, you don't have to go and look through the yellow pages because you have a network of experts and people who can, if there's not someone right there in there, there's someone who can refer someone to you. So it's just a no brainer to me. So if you plan to do the community, the business, the lifestyle in that order, and you expect for the lifestyle to be of value and really have quality of life and sort of be proud of the time that be proud of the self-care time. Don't feel guilty about taking time for yourself. And if you really have left it all on the field, if you have served the community and paid it forward and done a really great job in your business of going above and beyond, then your self-care time is that much more valuable because you know you earned it and you know you need it so that you can get back out there and do it all over again. Um, so Better Me Inc. It's Better Me Incorporated. It's bettermeinc.org and the Extreme Network Live. That's what TXNL stands for. The Extreme Network Live. And that's XSTREAM. Why? Because we do live streaming. It's extreme. It's unheard of. It's nothing that anyone else is doing. I know because we've been at this for 10 years. We've seen some organizations come and go. We've seen people get $11 million in investments and then disappear. This is not something that required a whole lot of money to build. It's something that required a whole lot of people with some really, really good hearts who get paying it forward. And I'll tell you something that all of these people have in common. It's been 10 years, and there are 7 TXNL executives. Okay. Um, these people all have in common that they are faith based and firm believers in doing what it is that God called them to do. Now, you might be an atheist, or you may be of a whatever particular religion, or maybe you're a Christian and I'm not being specific enough for you, or whatever. Don't get too caught up in that part of what I said, because the point that I want you to take away from this is not a religious debate. I want you to take away from this that these 7 people have been focused on doing for others for over 10 years. And I say over 10 years, we haven't all been doing TXNL together for 10 years. Some of them have. But even the others who haven't have been doing for others for over 10 years, because it's a mindset. It's something that's in you that either you get it or you don't get it. Doesn't mean that if you don't get it that you'll never get it. But if you get it, it's not something that you have to be convinced to do. It's not something that, if we have a meeting and one of these 7 people isn't there, it's because I know that they're either out serving some group of people, doing what they do in their lane in their small part of the world, or laid out from having done that. It's just not even a question. So until you can find something to have that level of commitment for, then you might not ever get what I'm saying. You might not ever get the whole community business and lifestyle. You guys, I've had people talk to me like what I'm saying is so ridiculous, laugh at me like, oh, poor baby, to bless your heart. That's so sweet. No, this is business and logic and business management and organizational strategy. But more than that, it is industrial organizational psychology. There are people who will charge you $6,000 to be part of a think tank with some other executives and CEOs and people who have made millions of dollars and bought and sold companies. And they're trying to go to their next level in life. And this organization is going to charge them $6,000 to help them understand the concept of paying it forward. You can pay TXNL $6,000 if you want to. But we don't charge you $6,000 to understand the concept of paying it forward. If you pay us $6,000, you're going to actually get a full scale consulting team that's going to come out and fine tune your business. The concept of paying it forward is free. I didn't make it up. There was a whole movie and a book about it. Being the change. If you don't get it, you need to find some purpose in life, period. Because the purpose in your life, the passion for which you were created to do what it is that you're called to do, it can waver. You can go back and forth on being convinced as to whether you were really called to do a certain thing, unless you focus and commit yourself to giving that thing away, right? If you don't get on the air and talk, if you don't get on the microphone and sing, if you don't sit down and counsel people or minister or teach someone how to do something or whatever, you're not exercising that gift. So it's a lot easier for the distractions in this world and the negative forces to try to convince you that you really don't have anything to offer. Everybody has something to offer. You were created, you were born, you were put on this earth, you have something of value to share with the next man. Doesn't mean that everybody is in your audience. It doesn't mean that just everybody that you try to talk to is going to buy what you're selling. But that's part of the journey. That's part of doing the community, the business and lifestyle. By you doing the community and being willing to just serve and help and work at whatever your hand finds to do to help others, that's where you find your niche. There's a lot of people in my speaking groups and think tanks and different things that I've participated in who are like, oh, I don't know what my focus is supposed to be on. I don't know what area I'm supposed to speak on or where I'm supposed to work or how I'm supposed to focus my brand. And yes, you will always hear me say, don't let anyone pigeonhole you. But if you don't have that level of confidence and that didn't click immediately when I said that, then that's probably not, you're not one of those people. You're one of the people who needs to focus, and you'll find your focus by paying it forward. You'll find your focus by being the change. You'll find your focus by volunteering to do the things that you're good at. If there's not a line of people standing outside your door trying to hire you to do it, what are you missing out on by giving it away? If you're an artist and you paint or you write music, write some more. Do one pro bono for someone just to get it heard. Oh, and all service and community service and giving doesn't only have to be for poor people. There's nothing wrong with ever doing something nice for somebody who has plenty of money to pay you and you still didn't ask them for any money. There's nothing wrong with that either. It's not always only about taking money from people who have money. It's about getting compensated for the things that you're supposed to get compensated for and giving away the things you're supposed to give away. That's what it's about. You don't decide that you're going to be part of the TXNL network and you're a CPA, but giving people advice on how to put their receipts together for their taxes is nothing. So you don't mind participating in a um, little community event, a fair or whatever, and you're sharing with people about that. But all of a sudden somebody walks up and they have a whole lot of money and you can tell by the way they're dressed and their shoes, or because they gave you their business card and you're thinking, ooh, that person could be a client and I could make so much money. Different hat. But by you doing that community thing and serving and doing it selflessly and giving of yourself in that way, even though that person walked up with those Italian shoes on and gave you their highfalutin business card, chances are they might remember you and call you because of how you operated. All of this is a gamble. I'm not saying anything that I'm describing is going to happen exactly the way I'm going to. And if you look for it, then you're not doing it with the right heart and the right intent. I'm just giving you examples of some of the things I've seen happen, things that have come back around. But it will come back around somehow, good or bad, whether you choose to not take action when you could help others, or whether you choose to take action, it's going to come back around either way. So, yeah, I shared with you where to go, the link. I'm going to go back to playing my design home game, y'all. I got a room that I'm trying to finish. You guys, if you come on early with me before I get started at 10 o'clock, then you get to see all my little sidebar stuff that I do just to, keep my mind right and distract me, not distract me. I have my little U version Bible app. There's a reading plan that I invited everybody to participate with me on when I started this 10-day journey, and it was called Unqualified. I know sometimes we can feel like, when we venture out to do whatever it is, the idea comes to you and you get all excited. You're like, oh my God, this is a brilliant idea. And then like a day passes, or you talk to some people, or you get ready to go out and do it, and all of a sudden you're like, what was I thinking? It was still a divinely inspired idea, and you just needed to talk about it with the right people and see where the opportunity is for you that you could actually do that thing and be fruitful at it. That's why it's so important for you to focus on your purpose, focus on what your why is, why you're put here, what it is you're called to do, because then you start to surround yourself with people who foster that. You start to notice if you're always surrounding yourself with people who are contradictory to what you're discovering your purpose is. That's how you get out from under the distractions and the things that can keep you off of this. A lot of people feel like they don't have time to do the community business lifestyle thing because they're too busy focusing on other distractions, right? And so even when you try to not focus on other distractions, people and things and tasks and errands, even, you could just set out to run an errand and the person in the store talks your head off. um, so you can stay focused on all of this stuff that sounds easier said than done. It's not so hard when you focus your mind, when you keep your mind stayed and focused on the things that are important. And um, then when you get to the lifestyle piece, you have more, people say work hard, play hard. Well, yeah, if you work hard, give, serve, be a servant leader, do the community thing, give all in your business, pay it forward. And then guess what? You can play hard. You don't have any guilt on you. A lot of people have a lot of guilt when they're playing because they didn't do anything. They didn't do a very good job at work and they haven't done anything for anybody else. So they can't even play right because they're miserable at their play. So yeah, I feel really good about this night. I'm gonna end it early. I really feel like that was to everybody. And you, like I said, you can pay somebody $6,000 to be part of a think tank. They're gonna tell you the same thing. Learn how to pay it forward. Learn how to be the change. If you can't find anybody else legitimate doing it, y'all, 10 years, we are still here. We haven't gone nowhere. We've been through some ups and downs. We've shared those with you. You can read more about them in my book. Um, that there's going to be some other books coming out about some other things and projects and obstacles that have been going on along the way. I try not to share other people's stories because that's for them to tell, but it's all relevant. I'm talking about some of the journey of TXNL in my book, and it's a lot of stuff that you probably didn't know. You probably did not know that we have our own enterprise management solution because we really don't sell it, but it is available as part of the management structure package. So all of a lot of the stuff that people are used to seeing, we don't do because it's all new stuff. And doing online videos to sell you a system, that's old school enterprise management solutions. If you build your business and you build your business for tomorrow outside of social media and the internet, you're going to need a real enterprise management solution. And a lot of these one off services and one off apps, it's not really going to help you in the long run. You're still going to have to buy something else to do all the stuff that that thing doesn't do. So we don't sell a lot of glitz and glam and bling and sexy solutions. No, we sell real solutions. They're going to help real people. And if we can figure out a way to help you do it without having to pay money or pay a lot of money for it, then that's what we're going to help you do. Um, so it's a beautiful thing. I'm so happy to be able to talk about TXNL from the outside now. Not really from the outside, but it's just a member, because it makes me that much more proud to be able to still be saying the same things and speaking so highly of it. But I'm not talking about myself, y'all. I'm talking about them. So, guys, let's be really awesome. Global citizens, community members of TXNL. If you're not an official member of TXNL, go and join. Go to the website, fill out the form, and sign up to be an actual official member. If you've been rocking with TXNL all these years and you've been recognized as a TXNL supporter and fan, that's awesome. But if you've been rocking with us all these years and you're still not quite where you want to be in your business, maybe it's time that you really, really got involved and see how TXNL can help you. Um, that's all I have. Thank you so much for joining me. I am Andrea Raquel, the social entrepreneur, sugar-free coach, and first female voice of the 3rd United States Infantry. I am also a member of TXNL and TXNL Executives, honored to say, together we are the solution. I look forward to seeing each and every one of you over there on the other side as I'm helping participate with classes and events. I'm looking forward to 2019 being an amazing, amazing year. If you were part of TXNL and you left because you didn't want to deal with me, go on back over there. There's no grudges. There's no one who's going to be standing at the door going, Andrea says she don't like you. Nobody's going to do that to you. I promise. I don't care who you are. So definitely get involved. I can't say enough. I can't urge you enough. Community, business, and lifestyle. That is the journey that I took towards establishing this whole living sugar-free plan, and it has helped me. I know it has helped others, and it's going to help a lot more, and it's going to continue to help me. And I hope that it helps you as well. I hope that you've got something out of this evening. If not, again, go check out bettermeinc.org. Ask some questions, send a message. Even if you just, have more questions about what I talked to you, you can go down to the bottom and send a message, and someone will contact you and explain, tell you what you need to do. Tomorrow is day 9, and we're going to be talking about the sugar-free diet. We're going to be talking about living well, and we're going to talk about my journey, and how I did the living sugar-free diet, or excuse me, the sugar-free diet. And so, yeah, today and tomorrow, that's really the living sugar-free journey. My community, business, and lifestyle vision, and also talking about the sugar-free diet, because a lot of people think that the sugar-free coach is all about the diet. But did you know that the nickname Sugar Free Coach actually came more about my coaching style and my leadership and management style than it was about the fact that I don't eat sugar. I am not a fanatic, y'all. I had a cookie earlier, just full disclosure. The reason I tell y'all that is because if I was like selling like a sugar-free diet, then I wouldn't do that. That's why I don't. because I'm not that type of person. I'm not going to sell anything that way. I'm not a fanatic about it. What I am is candida free, and it took me a long time to do that, and it was not easy. And I have to maintain certain things now so that I don't become, addicted to sugar or have a candida infestation or whatever. But that doesn't mean I'm a sugar fanatic. I'm not the sugar police. I'm not going to beat you over your head, lecture you about what you should be. I don't do that. But if you want to go sugar free because you're sick or you have issues or you're trying to lose weight, I will tell you how to do it. So with that understood, once I'm telling you how to do it, and then you start going, oh, well, I can't, oh, da, 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 that's when it's a struggle and a challenge. So tomorrow, I am going to share with you everything about the sugar-free diet so that I don't have to be the food police. And I can tell people, go watch the video. It'll tell you everything you want to know. And then that way I don't have to stand there and argue with you because it's not a good look. It's not fun. So yeah, and then day 10 is social media smarts and too well adjusted to be autistic. We're going to end with the same thing we started with. So hopefully you'll join me over the next 3 days and shoot me a note. Let me know that you want your copy of your book. It will be ready on Friday. I can't wait to hear all of your reviews and your feedback. Thank you so much for joining me. And I look forward to seeing you guys again tomorrow. Talk soon.